Yeah, Blair late to never, am I right, ladies and gentlemen, for your Lucas Eon Productions podcast. I'm going to do this basically for the 27th of freaking January. It's got the off topic with the Limit Center stuff to say, at least. Anyways, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms, Lucas E. Allen Show, which your Lucas Eon Productions podcast for your Friday, January 30th of 2026. Here, as always, Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms, Lucas E. Allen Show, obviously. Watching today's podcast on YouTube. Hit the like button on today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button if you've done so already. Turn the bell for our post notifications missing up on this channel. And always leave a comment to give an episode of Lucas E. Allen Productions podcast for your Friday, January 20th or 30th of 2026. Watch on Spotify. Also, a comment be very nice as well. And also, a 5-star rating be very nice as well, to say at least. Honestly, let's get right into today's podcast. So, follow me on social media. I forgot to mention that as well. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Mainly Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook of Lucas E. Allen. And say Zach Cyrus on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Let's get right into today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is a decent amount of discussing the sports world, obviously. I'm thinking of doing another podcast tomorrow for Saturday, January 31st of 2026 for Lucas E. Allen Productions. Obviously, I do Limit Center, obviously, but we do a preview in Royal Rumble, obviously. That's on knee or shade to say, at least, man. You also got, I believe, I stand corrected, the Grammy Awards to take place on Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus. So thinking about doing like a Lucas Limits podcast, my entertainment and pop culture podcast as well. The very first episode that'd be hopefully be out Sunday, knock on wood. Hope you can hear that, obviously. I don't think you can, honestly. But still. Let's get right started on today's podcast. The first Lucas E. Allen Productions podcast since the AFC and NFC Championship games, to say at least. We're going to discuss those 2020-26 NFL Conference Championship game recaps. We're going to discuss stats and also preview for Super Bowl 60. We're also discussing Buffalo Bills promote offensive coordinator Joe Brady as the team's next head coach. We're discussing that. We're also going to be discussing Matthew Stafford, a loss, obviously, in an NFC Championship game to the Seattle Seahawks. Spoiler alert. Because Matthew Stafford says he'll take some time before he deciding his NFL future. We're discussing that. Shedeur Sanders in the fucking, just ridiculous how he got qualified for the freaking Pro Bowl. Shedeur Sanders reportedly named to team for the Pro Bowl after not a good rookie season whatsoever. Let's get out the Pro Bowl in the year 2026 and before, obviously, before COVID hit. Not even before COVID, not the bus private conversation for another day. The last team to finish off of Ohio State, the football team, is hiring Arthur Smith, the former Falcons and Titans and Steelers offensive coordinator since head coach for the Falcons. The team's next offensive coordinator. Just on today's podcast, glad you're joining. Maybe you saw this going to taste your Friday edition of Lucas Eon Productions. For your Friday, January 30th of 2026 on YouTube and all audio platforms, Lucas Eon Show. Let's get on today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Starting with, you guessed it, the 2026 NFL Conference Championship game recaps. So we start with the AFC Championship game between the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the Broncos. Or Patriots also. This game was obviously a clusterfuck not boring games for me, honestly. I can understand the normal standard wrestling fan. Jesus, the normal standard football fan. We thought this game was kind of boring, disappointing. But to me, I was expecting going into this game whether it to be a snowy or just a sunny weather game like the normal Denver temperatures used to be in the Mile High City. Usually it's like 70 degrees. It can be very inconsistent at times. So one minute could be hot, one minute could be cold, like we saw on Sunday. And this game did not disappoint. It was cold weather, snowy football game, man. I love these two football games. The messy and terrible environment to play in the Mile High City in Denver, obviously. One of the many reasons why I love these types of fields. One of many reasons why I'm a Packers fan, because Lambeau Field is just like that, and probably Bears fans probably should Soldier Field. I definitely agree with that. And Buffalo Bills fans, I'm high Mark Stadium and stuff like that. So if you're looking like a high score, like we saw at the Rams and Seahawks game, y'all be out disappointed, obviously. But it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy this football game. It's my type of favorite football games, honestly. Just snowy, just cold weather, just freaking messy football conditions. Also, when Will Lutz misses 2 field goals, you know it's freaking bad because Will Lutz barely misses field goals, to say the least. I mean, he ain't like a Brand Aubrey or a Cam Little from the Cowboys and Jaguars, but he's a very good kicker when he's had good conditions, man. Obviously, not have good conditions whatsoever on Sunday afternoon. And Drake May, the Patriots starting quarterback. Drake May completed 10 of his 21 passes. He can less than a 50% completion percentage, and the Patriots still won this game 10-7. But then again, he completed 86 yards and was sacked 5 times. That is not a recipe for success for the Patriots, you'll think, honestly. They're in the Super Bowl, though, getting 5 sacks per game in the offensive line of the football field in this postseason. I think Drake May was sacked 15 times this whole postseason in the 3 games they played. The Chargers, the Texans, and also the Broncos. Granted, those 3 teams have good defenses, and obviously great defenses, the Texans and Broncos, too. But still, man, that's concerning for you, especially the terrific defense in Seattle in the Super Bowl. But Drake May completed 20 of his 21 passes, meaning he played more incompletion than completions, man. 10-21 is not the greatest in a lot of honesty, especially do it for 86 yards. He didn't have to go rushing 30 yards for 10 carries for 66 yards and the only touchdown for the Patriots. For Andre Stevenson at 25 carries for 71 yards as well. That's just been say for that. I like to honestly scroll down here, but I guess it's not letting me. Whatever. What it is, what it is. We'll look at basically the stat lines here. For basically the quarterbacks and the running backs, or the running game to say at least. Jarrett Stidham is a little bit better to a point, but at least completion percentage. He was played 17 of his 31 passes for 133 yards, but 1 touchdown, but did throw 1 interception. It was not very good at all. Probably a game-stealing interception by the Patriots defense. And the ground game was not that much better. R.J. Hart only had 37 yards. I thought it'd be a lot more. Once Bo Nix went down with injury, I thought the Broncos go all in on R.J. Hart. I did also hear J.K. Dobbins will be back for this game. Obviously, he was not back for the game, obviously. There you go. And Cortland Sutton was also the only touchdown in the game as well. He got a touchdown from Jarrett Stidham. This game is obviously disappointing if you're looking for like a high-scoring football game. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I expected him to be a low-scoring game no matter what conditions I'm in. It's like 80-degree weather still. These 2 defenses in Denver and New England were they're great defenses. Patriots is very slept on their defense, especially all postseason long, and playing fucking phenomenal. So there you go. Patriots move on to the Super Bowl 60. And discuss their opponent right in the brief moments here to say at least. The Broncos, if only you had Bo Nix. I don't even know if Bo Nix would be great in this conditions. Well, I guess you never can tell them, I say at least. But the 2 seed New England Patriots win the AFC and go on to Super Bowl 60. Who are we taking on? We'll be taking on the Seattle Seahawks and NFC's number 1 seed, which means a rematch from Super Bowl 49, ladies and gentlemen. I'll discuss the NFC Championship game. As a 1 seed Seattle Seahawks defeat the division rivals of 5 seed Los Angeles Rams, with second straight playoff game they're facing the division rivals. The last division round was obviously the 49ers, and now the conference championship was the Rams. And the Seahawks defeat the 1 seed Seahawks defeated the 5 seed Rams 31-27. This is a game you'll be interested in probably. If you're a high scoring like fantasy football guy like me, I am to a point. Let's start with the Rams though. Matthew Stafford completed 22 of his 35 passes for 374 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, only sacked 1 time. Blake Coleman had a very decent game with 9 carries for 455 yards. Kyron Williams had a midday through the ground but did get a touchdown through the air. As did Puka Nacua, who also caught a pass. Thanks to Tariq Woolen, almost costing the Seahawks the game it could have been in, honestly. Luckily, the Seahawks to win this game. If Tariq Woolen would have cost his team the game, if Seahawks would have lost that game, it was because of Tariq Woolen, obviously. Or Tariq Woolen when he's called himself, obviously. But absolutely that blaster call, obviously, on the field. Which is what was it called? It was basically intimidating this Rams silence. Basically got a 15-yard penalty. which is the right call. You can't do that whatsoever in the National Football League, man. You can't do that whatsoever. You really can't, people. So I don't mind that call whatsoever. But luckily, the Seahawks, even with that call, still won this game. So there you go. The Matthew Stafford did all he could. He did all he could. It's just the Rams defense let the man down. The Rams defense let the man down. What do you want me to say? The Rams defense let Matthew Stafford down. But Sam Darnold, let's discuss Sam Darnold, man. Completed 25 of his 36 passes, 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I think he was sacked 3 times, though, so that's not very too good. Not as much as Drake May, though. And Kenneth Walker had another very good game. 19 carries, 62 yards, and 1 touchdown on the ground. And Jackson Smith freaking Jigba, man. This man's been firing all cylinders all freaking year, may I tell you, man. 10 catches for 153 yards, man. Insane corner touchdown, obviously. You needed much in your divisional round, but then you didn't need much as well in the divisional round. But still, Jackson Smith the Jigba. Oh my God, man. Guy was insane. The guy is freaking amazing. It's Jackson Smith the Jigba, to say the least. Man, is just freaking insane at the wide receiver's position this year, man. You're doing it all in the postseason, man. Congratulations to Jackson Smith Jr. having a fucking phenomenal year in Seattle. And helping out his offense here. Probably the best player in offense on that team, obviously. I gotta give a shout out to Sam Darnold, though. Man, I was honestly kind of sleeping on this man following that playoff loss last year against the Rams. And he's in Minnesota in the wild card weekend of 2025, obviously. I gotta be honest, I was wrong about him. I thought the Seahawks were an overhyped team in the offseason, honestly. Oh my God, that fucking came back to bite me in the ass, obviously. The Seahawks now in the Super Bowl 60, man. They had to face the Eagles. Obviously, the 49ers took care of them. They took care of the 49ers and Rams, which are the division rivals in their division round and obviously conference championship game, obviously respective rounds there. And the Seahawks, man, oh my God. I gotta be honest, man. I'm gonna hold my hand right now. I was wrong about the Seattle Seahawks. Granted, I'm a Packers fan. We should all be fucking hating on the Seahawks, but I don't do that. I play constructive criticism when needed, and when this shit is right, and this was freaking right to say. And Sam Darnold, man, in Minnesota, you should have kept the man. You should have kept the man. Say you went to JJ freaking McCarthy, man. You're gonna backfire big time, man. The Sam Darnold, a year later after leaving the Minnesota Vikings, is in Super Bowl 60. Congratulations, Sam Darnold, man. This man could have gotten written off the face of the earth after that jet. He was deemed as a bust in the Jets. He was drafted by the Jets third overall. Was in 2016 or 15, one or the other. You thought this man was going to run him off, And this is the Carolina days, the great Carolina. This man went to and San Francisco, back up Brock Purdy. We thought his career had been done. This man took a 180 when he went to the Vikings. You can thank Kevin O'Connell. You can thank also the Seahawks for this season too, man. Congratulations to Sam Darnold, man, to say the least. Dude is freaking put on some great football, to say the least, in Seattle and Minnesota, respectively, over the last 2 years. And Minnesota should have kept the man. He should have kept Sam Darnold. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in the Super Bowl and not even making the playoffs. I know they went 9-8, obviously, but still. So who would you rather have on your football team, Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy? I think I would choose Sam Darnold. Would you probably say Vikings? I'm assuming they probably will, obviously. But still, no, and then they got rid of him for freaking JJ McCarthy. Unbelievable, man. Unfreaking believable. It is what it is. So congratulations to the Seahawks and the Patriots on a Super Bowl 60. A rematch from Super Bowl 49. Just a warning there, Seattle. If you're on the 1 yard line and scoring position, you give the ball to not Marshawn Lynch, obviously. You give that ball to Kenneth Walker. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in a touchdown and scoring position. Chance to retake the lead in Super Bowl 60 and not 49. Then again, you don't have Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, or Marshawn Lynch. Now you have basically Mike McDonald, and then you got Sam Darnold as a quarterback, and now you got Kenneth Walker. So there you go. You got Seahawks and Patriots and Super Bowl 60 rematch with Super Bowl 49. Should be fun. Should be definitely fun for sure. And this game between the Rams and the Seahawks is freaking great. 31-27, well, obviously better than the AFC Championship game of the box scores. And honestly, I enjoyed the Patriots and Broncos game only because I'm a mark for probably cold weather football games, obviously, and I love those type of environments, especially for playoff games. It doesn't mean it got boring to a point. Yes, it did. Obviously, Seahawks. I'll be honest. I really much enjoy Seahawks and Rams better. Obviously. Doesn't mean I enjoy Brave Patriots and Broncos what are trying to produce there. So I enjoy that to say at least, man. And also, no Chiefs and Eagles in the Super Bowl, even one or the other. A+++ for me. You got the Patriots. We don't have Tom Brady anymore. Just Drake made the quarterback position for the Patriots. Well, I'll give my predictions in the Super Bowl probably in a couple podcasts. I'm going to get closer to Super Bowl 60. Let you know about that to say at least my Say's XR's Twitter account, also my Instagrams as well. That is my thoughts on the NFL 2026 NFL Conference Championship recaps to say at least. Moving on, the Buffalo Bills promote offensive coordinator Joe Brady as the team's next head coach, replacing Sean McDermott. Spoiler, I hate this fucking move, obviously. Buffalo Bills are a strong message following another playoff exit in 2025-2026, obviously. Merely making another postseason is not enough after 9 excellent regular season performances. Sean McDermott was fired, closing the door on one of the most productive eras in Bills football history. About that whatsoever, probably go with Jim Kelly, but stuff probably better since Jim Kelly, obviously. On Tuesday, the franchise found the man that believes it can succeed where McDermott failed. Reportedly promoting offensive coordinator Joe Brady, becoming the next head coach of the football team for Buffalo. According to multiple reports, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported the two sides have agreed to the terms on a deal. I hate this move, like I said, ladies and gentlemen. The Buffalo Bills went from Sean McDermott to a guy by the name of Joe Brady. Mr. Joe Brady. Oh my God. God forbid that ever happens for Buffalo. Joe Brady, the former Packers defensive coordinator. God, he was awful at what his job was in Green Bay, obviously. But you can't do this, man. Sean McDermott's obviously, granted, we don't know what Joe Brady can do as a head coach. You only know him as offensive coordinator for Buffalo. But then again, why would you do that if that's the case when you have a championship rounding quarterback and Josh Allen? This franchise is actually, they don't want to win with Josh Allen. They don't want to win anybody. They don't want to win anything in the Super Bowl since they went the Super Bowl 4 straight times in the 1990s. They didn't win a single one. They could have won with the first one against the Giants. It wasn't for the kicker. His name was Scott something. Was it Scott Novak, maybe? I think it's the referee, honestly. But you get the point. The kicker missed it when wide right. That's how wide right was made famous in Buffalo. Then Tyler Bass did that shit in the divisional round against the Chiefs. You get the point. But still, like seriously, you're trying to just blame the coaches for nothing. Sean McDermott was a scapegoat for this team. And just don't want to. Brandon Beane and the Bills front office does not want to build a championship level roster around their franchise quarterback Josh Allen for whatever fucking reason. And that's just fucking awful as a talent that Josh Allen is. Granted, can be a crybaby at times. Sometimes only after you lost. So I'll be honest. I saw the man really cry after he lost, after the Broncos game, in the press conference and stuff like that. But still, he has every right to kind of cry if you think about it. He has every right. Look at he's being productive. His best weapon as far as wide receivers is Khalil freaking Shakir. And he got Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid at tight end position. Got James Cook too. He's a running back. This man needs somebody to throw the ball to, not named James Cook. Dalton Kincaid could be that guy. Khalil Shakir could be that guy. But they're not number ones right now. Khalil Shakir is not a number one wide receiver on a Josh Allen potential Super Bowl winning team. I'm sorry. Why do you think the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl with Jackson Smith and J-Bet? And why do you think the Patriots are in the Super Bowl with Stephon Diggs and Drake May? And Sam Darnold also for Seattle. Because you got great wide receivers like Stephon Diggs and Jackson Smith and Jigba are the top 10 wide receivers in the league. Like, come on, man. Well, like the last 2 years, 3 years. Look at last year. Minus the Chiefs. Like, I don't get the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, and I can't stand Patrick Mahomes. At least he got a receiver in Travis Kelce, a tight end. But even the Eagles, they had A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, who are arguably two of the top 15 wide receivers. And Devontae Smith is better than Khalil Shakir. Let's be real. Devontae Smith's a wide receiver 2 in Philadelphia. Khalil Shakir's the number 1 wide receiver in Buffalo. How is that a recipe for success for the Buffalo Bills? They need that number 1 wide receiver. They even had that since Stephon Diggs. And Diggs was right, after all. And he's out in the Super Bowl with Drake May. I'm sure it pains the Bills fan base and pains Josh Allen and Beyond Baholi. And the Buffalo Bills. This was an awful decision. Him picking firing Sean McDermott, making this man as a scapegoat for just Bills' failure. Brandon Beane, if you're going to fire anybody, was it Brandon Beane as a general manager of the Buffalo Bills? You don't fire Sean McDermott. I'm sorry. For Joe fucking Brady. Joe Brady should be a head coach for, I don't know. I don't know who, give me a name. Like the Titans, for example, when they just hired Robert Saleh, but still. I mean, he could have been the Giants head coach. He didn't hire John Harbaugh. He could have been the Ravens head coach. He didn't hire Jesse Minter. Fuck, he could have been the Browns head coach. He didn't hire fucking Todd Monken. We'll discuss that probably tomorrow, nonetheless, on Lucas Young Productions podcast for January 31st of 2026, obviously. But in all honesty, I hate this move from the Buffalo Bills. They don't want to win anything and come close to the Super Bowl. They mentioned a couple of times the AFC Championship game, and never got past the AFC Championship game at the latest, bro. 2 times with Josh Allen. 2 years ago, and obviously when Josh Allen was getting, I think it was their second year since he's got the playoffs. Oh my goodness, man. Not great recipe for success for Buffalo Bill fans, to say at least. In all honesty, like I said, I hate this move for the Buffalo Bills in all honesty. Moving on to Matthew Stafford says he will take some time before deciding his NFL future. Obviously, he's a 39 or 37, one or the other. Los Angeles Rams starting quarterback Matthew Stafford is going to take some time before deciding his NFL future. Stafford said he had a lot of fun this season. Obviously, probably to win MVP, obviously. You want to take some time to reflect on that before determining what's next for him. Stafford made those comments on an episode of the Let's Go podcast on Monday, obviously following the NFC Championship game. When asked about looking forward, Stafford said he would take some time to consider all the variables. That's how you say that? He says, and I quote, it will take a lot to goes into it. It's a physical and mental, emotional decision, a personal and family decision as well. So we'll figure out all that before you kind of stuff before some time. I know I had a ton of fun playing football this season and so much fun playing for the Rams. So when I'm ready to figure that out, I'm ready to figure that out. That moment isn't right now. You probably could tell, obviously. I have so much time. I feel like to reflect on the people and the season we just had. I want to appreciate that it gave to the time that it deserves before I start thinking personally about what's next for me and my family. Don't mind that reason whatsoever for Matthew Stafford. Do I see him retiring? Obviously, probably not, obviously. I don't even see him retiring even before this report, obviously. You're probably going to see like an Aaron Rodgers retire, and I just can't see Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford retiring in the same offseason. I just can't. If Rodgers stay, I doubt he stay. Like, who is he going to go to? Who is he going to go to? What? Go back to the Steelers? We're going to go to the Vikings and get another piece of Brett Favre. If he went to there before, not the Steelers, it'd be even more funnier. But still, I just can't see Matthew Stafford retiring after he potentially being an MVP this year. More than likely the MVP this year. I know technically Drake may probably have those sayers to him being the MVP because he's in the Super Bowl and Stafford went home in the conference championship game against in Seattle. But still, I think Stafford is the rightful MVP winner. He had more touchdowns than Drake May. I don't like Drake May. The man, he's a great quarterback. Obviously, a second runner-up to Matthew Stafford, probably. I know Drake May is in the Super Bowl. This is a regular season award, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't a regular season and postseason award. This is just a regular season award. Now, Drake May wins Super Bowl MVP, and that could be maybe a small chance that he could win MVP. But then again, I think the NFL awards before the Super Bowl, I believe, honestly. So we ain't fine with that, to say at least. But I just can't see Stafford and Aaron Rodgers retiring the same offseason. Two NFC North legend quarterbacks in the Lions and Packers, respectively. I more see Rodgers retire than I see Matthew Stafford, obviously. I believe Stafford's like 37 and Rodgers is, 42 at this rate? He's not going to get Tom Brady. He's not going to be like Tom Brady, retire at 45? Unless he comes out retiring like Brady did in the last year, but still, Rodgers, he needs to retire. Much of my fans for Aaron Rodgers, the man needs to retire right now. Stafford has come off an MVP season. Granted, if he won the Super Bowl this year, and probably he would have retired. But he didn't win it. I think he wants to win get to at least one more Super Bowl before he calls it quits. I think next year could be his last year, definitely. But then again, like Rodgers is retiring at 42 years old potentially, and Tom Brady retired at 45. Like Stafford's still kicking him, has a great arm, obviously. I think he still has at least 1 to not 2, maybe 3 more years left in the tank, obviously. That's what I think, honestly. So I ain't fine with that to say at least. Keep updating Matthew Stafford going in the offseason to say at least. What the Rams do around Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, and Kyron Williams and Sean McVay to say at least. Oh my goodness, man. I can't even discuss this bullshit. I don't even hate Shedeur Sanders. I don't hate the Sanders family. I don't. But anyway, Shedeur Sanders reportedly named for the Pro Bowl after not a good rookie season. Gee, you don't say. It's not often the Cleveland Browns hit the news cycle for positive news. That's a funny way of putting it. Oh my god, man. That is definitely a way to put it there. Yahoo Sports got this article from. But we got quarterback position. But today, I think it was honestly like Tuesday, something like that. I got this report from. But today is apparently that day. Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders named to the 2026 Pro Bowl as an alternate. Mary K. Cabant of Cleveland.com reported on Monday. And just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, Shedeur Sanders stats. Look this up right now, actually, when I think about it. Because I know last time I checked, before this report, it's been a couple of days since I had this report, obviously. Let's look up Shedeur Sanders stats. Let's look up his stats, man. There's an overall basically sample size here. Granted, he didn't start the whole season. So let's see, Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco before him. But Shedeur Sanders had 56.5 completion percentage, 1,400 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And guess how many interceptions this man threw? You give you 10 seconds or 5 seconds to guess. Probably just a spoiler right there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This man threw 10 interceptions. He had more interceptions than he did freaking touchdowns. How is that a Pro Bowl season? This Pro Bowl selection shit is just as bad as a college football playoff committee. I am not joking when I say that, people. This bowl just sucks. And the Pro Bowl shit has gone so downhill where people have flag freaking football during the Pro Bowl, not a regular standard Pro Bowl game. How are you supposed to like that? If you're a regular standard football fan, oh, the safety's for the players, man. Who the fuck cares? This makes you more and more like freaking clowns every single year. The Pro Bowl should not be flag fucking football. I don't care about COVID when that shit hit rock bottom in 2020 or not. I don't give a fucking shit. We are past COVID. Bring back the fucking real Pro Bowl. Probably blowing on my mic here. Probably. I'm a spoiler. I got that in. This shit is fucking ridiculous. How a guy like Shedeur Sanders who has more interceptions than he has touchdowns can get to the fucking Pro Bowl. I know they can't have Darnold or even Drake May in this. I understand that. Like usually they had the guys who it's kind of like their all-star game for the NBA. This used to be like that. Now it's just you can get Shedeur Sanders do his 10 interceptions and with 7 touchdowns. More interceptions, he does touchdowns. And the fucking Pro Bowl. Does that not sound ridiculous to you people? Even if you don't care about the Pro Bowl game, that's fine. How can a guy be eligible when he has more interceptions than these guys does touchdowns? How the fuck does that make any freaking sense? How does that make sense, people? Even if you don't care about the Pro Bowl game, that's fine. I hate there's no Pro Bowl game personally. You can tell obviously. But still, how can you people like this shit? It's ridiculous. How a guy like Shedeur Sanders can get to the Pro Bowl, have more interceptions than he does fucking touchdowns. It's ridiculous, in my honest opinion. God forbid I have a fucking opinion in the National Football League according to Roger fucking Goodell. It's like Triple H for wrestling, honestly, to me. And honestly, I hate this fucking with Shedeur Sanders. Joe Burrow probably had a better stat line, and he was injured for the most of the year than freaking Shedeur Sanders. Honestly, Joe Burrow is one of the top quarterbacks in the game. He missed a ton of time, but still. You couldn't come up with somebody better than Joe Burrow. Shedeur Sanders get to the Pro Bowl and not to the spot than Shedeur Sanders himself. Like, I don't know. He can have someone from AFC. Give me a name. Like, I don't know. Like, does Justin Herbert? I think he was in this, honestly. Probably him and Josh Allen. I thought Lamar Jackson would get in anyways. I don't know. Give me a name. I don't even like Bo Nix. I think he's hurt too, but still. I don't know. Give me like you come in Daniel Jones. He's fucking hurt. Yeah, I'm fucking bullshit on names. I mean, it should be Shedeur Sanders. But then again, just about this guy's better than Shedeur, even hurt most of the year. That's what I'm trying to say, people. How about this one? Trevor Lawrence from the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Gonna have him get in over Shedeur Sanders? Are you fucking kidding me? You can have Shedeur Sanders, but you should pick Shedeur Sanders, but not Trevor Lawrence. I don't care if Lawrence want to pick this. You might as well get rid of the fucking Pro Bowl games itself. It looks ridiculous. I'm sorry. It looks fucking ridiculous for football. Shall if it once was just the Pro Bowl, the week before the Super Bowl, and the week after conference championships. It looks fucking stupid, in my honest opinion. And then again, a guy like Shedeur Sanders in it is even more stupid, in my honest opinion. And finally, everyone, for your Lucas E. Allen Productions podcast for your Friday, January 30th of 2026, Ohio State, the football team here at Buckeyes, is hiring Arthur Smith as his football team's next offensive coordinator. Ohio State is expected to hire Arthur Smith as the team's next offensive coordinator now in the football, obviously the NCAA. According to multiple reports on Saturday, meaning that the Buckeyes are poised to a former NFL high coaches coordinating their offense and defense in 2026. Obviously, they got demolished. I don't think they got demolished, but definitely got outdue by the number 10 team ranked in the country, the Miami Hurricanes. Got the national championship. Put up a fight against the Indiana Hoosiers and Fernando Mendoza, who's already going to win in the NFL draft in 2026. So Raiders. But I don't mind that. Arthur Smith's not the best coach, honestly, but his offensive coordinator is okay. I'm about the Buckeyes, though, and then one of the most experienced head coaches potentially being the coordinators, or obviously the coaches still in the locker room there, to say the least. So it's not a bad idea if you think about it. Is it perfect? Fuck no, obviously. But still, I don't mind this whatsoever for the Ohio State Buckeyes, to say the least. Just a little bit quick, one piece of news there, and we'll get out of here, obviously. That is your Friday edition of Lucas E. Allen Productions podcast for your Friday, January 30th of 2026 on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas E. Allen Show. Thank you guys for watching Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas E. Allen Show. With your Limit Center, it's resting, obviously, Lucas. Your Lucas E. Allen Productions podcast for your Friday, January 20th or 31st, Jesus. Friday, January 30th of 2026. Hopefully, knock on wood. Now you guys can hear that, but still I knocked on the wall, obviously. You can get your Limit Center podcast probably tomorrow for your January 31st of 2026. Because all things a Royal Rumble. Pre-predictions on that with some news in the wrestling world, obviously. before the Rumble hits, probably like around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Probably get pre-predictions right probably in the morning to say at least before that on the YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and TikTok videos, obviously. Stay tuned for that to say. I'm also thinking about doing like another upload on the second channel, Lucas Sion on YouTube. If they can get us anything on Spotify, or Spotify listeners not going to get that whatsoever, but still. Until next time, to say at least, not me rambling, am I right, people? Until next time, it's just me next time. All right, peace, love, bye. I am out. Take care. Love y'all big time to say it, the absolute least.